The Ironman challenge in World of Warcraft has been attempted by many and completed by few. Many people underestimate how difficult this game could actually be when you aren't constantly improving your gear after every single quest. This challenge is designed to be difficult, and the odds are certainly stacked against me and will likely be a slow and steady climb to max level. I've played WoW in some capacity for the past 12 years and leveled many characters to max level, raided and completed in-game content, and was an avid PvPer for a while. After getting burned out many times, I decided to reactivate my subscription just a couple days ago and take on a new way to play the game that I love so much. Make sure to subscribe and join me on my adventure to complete the Ironman challenge. The rules of the challenge are as follows. First and foremost, don't die. Easier said than done for sure. Next, I'm only allowed to equip gray and white rarity items. I can't use potions, food buffs, elixirs, or professions, primary or secondary for that matter. Crafted gear, or generally anything that could help me, is banned. However, I can use my talents and I can respec as I see fit. I can't join groups or complete group content like dungeons or raids either. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Ferroman the Mage. Ferrum translates to iron in Latin, so I figured I was being a little clever with my naming. Ferroman, roughly translates to Iron Man. Like all new undead characters, I started by talking to Agatha, venturing into the crypt to gather the embalming fluid and the corpse stitching twine. Once that was turned in, I was tasked to dispatch 6 mindless zombies and dinged level 2 in the process. I then turned in the quest and received our first piece of gear that we can actually equip during this challenge, the Battered Cloak. After that, I had to talk to Valdred Mori, Lillian Voss, and Marshall Redpath in the graveyard to inform them that they are now undead. Once we informed the trio of their current living status, we dinged level 3 and moved our way on to Death Nil. Now that we've made it to Death Nil, we had to gather some Scarlet Corpses and kill 8 members of the Scourge. Completing this quest grants us level 4. After we ding level 4, we now have to go to Lillian Voss in the house just across the way and give her a mirror so that she can accept that she is now an undead. After she takes a look at her ugly mug, we venture down the road to execute our errand and hit level 5. We get our first achievement, even though we most definitely have not completed 50 quests at this point, and we pick up the quest to gather scavenger paws and dustbat wings. We make quick work of Aaron's quest, and then he tells us to go kill some spiders. As a kid, I absolutely hated this quest, partially because I hated spiders when I was younger, but also because it was the first cave you experience as an undead, and I died a lot back in Wrath of the Lich King when I originally started playing the game. We then turn in our spooky spider quest and get a chest piece that we won't be using, and turn in a couple more quests. Ding level 6, we unlock Arcane Blast, and we head into the forest to kill 8 of the rot brain undead and take care of Marshall Redpath. Once we turn in the quest, we get a new staff that we are actually able to use. We then venture down to the Calston estate to pick up some quests and begin working on collecting the Tearsfall pumpkins and killing the farmers that guard them. This quest was a nightmare back in Classic due to the quick respawn time, and due to how popular the game was, the respawn times on the farmers was nuts, and everybody was stealing the pumpkins that you were inevitably going for. After we kill all the farmers that stand in our way and take all their pumpkins, we venture down to the beach to capture a murloc, to attack him, capture him, and drag him back to the Cowston estate. Back at the estate, we turn in some quests and we ding level 7. We're making great progress with little resistance at the moment, which I'm definitely taking that as a victory, because there will come a time later on where it gets much harder. After that, we head to the pond just east of the estate and gather some marrow petals. After we're done picking some flowers, I work on taking out some Scarlet Warriors. As I'm killing the Scarlet Warriors, I pick up the Scarlet Letter quest, which is, I'm pretty sure, 100% drop at this point. And I also head over here, as you'll see, and pick up some of the Zavrin Thorns for our gathering quests. Then I continue taking out the warriors in the area. We make our way up the Crusaders' outpost and talk to Lillian, initiating the long RP that comes with this quest.
I live my life in the shadows. Do not linger.
After Lillian rips the guy's face off, I guess, we jump down, we kill the last warrior we need, and then we head to the ocean in order to pick up some sea cucumbers. Because what else would you do as an undead in this world? Back at the estate, we turn in the 3 quests that we were working on and we ding level 8. We then go and feed the poison pumpkin to the captured Scarlet Zealot and accept the infamous Gloomweed quest from Gordo. On our way to Brill, we stop at a field to accept the Putrid Claw quest. It is here at Cold Hearth Manor that we encounter our first rare mob, Ressin the Needler. He dropped, I think it was a pair of green mail pants, which we don't wear mail, but we definitely couldn't use them because it was green rarity anyway. But the XP was good, and that's really all that matters for right now. After collecting all 7 claws, we turn in the quests, and then we finally move on to Brill. Now that we've made it to Brill, we turn in the 2 quests that we had there initially, and we accept every quest that the town folk have to offer except for the Silver Pine Forest quest, because I'm not 100% sure if we are actually going to level in that zone. I haven't really thought much of where I want to go next. I did decide to go ahead and do the Flight Path quest because it's the most boring of the bunch, and you literally just have to fly to Undercity, talk to an NPC to turn in a quest there, and then fly back. Now that we've landed back at Brill, we turned in our quest, we dinged level 9, and we are now on the hunt for cursed Darkhounds, looking for the Darkhound blood. As we're searching for the vials of blood, a Worgen infiltrator shows up behind us and tells us of an invasion happening in Brill, prompting us to kill the infiltrators once we return to the city. Once we collect all the blood vials that we need, we move on to killing a slew of zealots and missionaries. Now that we've returned to Brill, we turn in all the quests that we were working on, and that brings us nearly 3/4 of the way to level 10. There's a lot of RP and a lot of cool stuff that happens when you turn in some of these quests, but I have done this zone no less than 10 or 15 times, so I skipped them. I apologize if you want to see me go back and do them. I'm sure I'll create another character at some point in order to do that. After those quests were turned in, we go ahead and hunt down the Worgen infiltrators. Surprisingly enough, this was the first time in the challenge that we actually dropped to half health. I think it was mostly due because I was on the phone talking to a friend while I was playing, and I was just kind of turning my brain off and just chaining mobs back to back. And, you know, I'm so used to upgrading after every quest that I didn't realize that those mobs actually kind of hit hard. Now we're at Garen's Haunt, just north of Brill. We talked to the leper gnome and the apothecary to begin hunting the rothhide mongrels. While we're killing our last mongrel needed for our quest, we ding level 10 and obtain our first actual achievement. I seriously don't count the 50 quest achievement because we most definitely did not complete 50 quests, but that's besides the point. Once the mongrels are taken care of, we focus on collecting the doomweed and killing the rothhide grave robbers, along with collecting the vials of embalming ichor. After we turn in our quests, I decide that I'm going to run Frost Mage for this Iron Man playthrough. I play Mage in retail. I've mained a Mage for like 8 years. I mainly play Fire Mage. I have played Arcane Mage for a while, but I figured I have never played Frost Mage before, so what better time to try out a new spec than while doing a no-death Iron Man run. I take the Overflowing Energy talent to increase my critical strike chance, and then we go down the road to the hut to kill Maggot Eye and bring his eye back to the gnome. After turning in the Maggot Eye quest, we now have to go down to the beach and use our spooky undead looks to scare the baby murlocs. For whatever reason, I went super smooth brain, and I just had a hard time actually scaring them. I would run into a pack of them, but I didn't make the connection that you have to like scare them twice, and you have to follow them. So this took me a lot longer than it actually should have, like 3 or 4 minutes longer. But don't you worry, I got wrinkles on my brain now. It just, you know, sometimes we go smooth for a little bit. Once we've given all the little Murloc children nightmares, we head back to Brill to learn our mount skill. I forget that it's level 10 in retail that you actually can ride mounts. I'm used to level 20 or level 40 in Classic. After we get our Giddy Up achievement, we now have to ride just north of Garen's haunt to Agamond Mills. Now that we're at the mills, I go ahead and accept the family crypt quest, but we're not going to work on that this episode. That's actually going to be our first quest that we take on for episode 2. So I hope you all enjoyed this Iron Man challenge. I know it's a little different than what I normally do, and I'm sure this video kind of sounded like a school project. I'm not super comfortable recording like off of a script, so that's something I got to work on. But thank you all for the support. January has been unreal, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year has in store for us. Peace.